Hello everyone. My name is Shivam Sharma, and welcome back to yet another session of Chartered Talks. And today with us we have CA Hetal Adhia ma'am. I'd like you all to please give her a huge round of applause. And with that, I'd like to speak a few words about her. Hetal ma'am is a chartered accountant and CMA. She is currently working as a financial analyst at Cummins Inc. and is currently living at Columbus. And she graduated from Michigan State University in 2018. And with this, Hetal ma'am, this session is yours. You can proceed ahead, proceed with this session.
All right. Hello, everyone. It's so nice to be back. Just give me a second. I'll share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Very well.
Okay. So thank you for this opportunity, Vikasa, Thane, ICAI. I'm so glad to be back. And with that, let us talk about the career opportunities in the US. But before I begin, I would like to cover a few housekeeping things. Please keep your audio on mute. I still
Audio
hear a
specific.
lot of noise.
Just a
Yeah.
moment, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So please keep your audio on mute and video on. I want to see all of you. This is a very informal session where you are free to ask me any kind of questions you want to. I don't want to make it very formal. So please make it more interactive. And I also have Hari here with me. Hari is my husband. He's finishing his PhD in management accounting. So I'm going to cover a few things about PhD as well. So if you have any questions, he is the right person to answer, not me. I won't be able to guide you much on that. Um, Other than that, if you have any questions at any point, just raise your hand and Sanika or Shivam can just let me know that there is a question so that they can unmute themselves and answer.
Rather,
Sure, ma'am.
just a moment. I'll just interrupt you. I would not have because Hari, as you said, means he is my senior, rather a guru for every time when we see so. And I recollect my MCC days, seeing him on this platform. Seriously, I'm glad to hear you out too on today's occasion. Though Hetal will be speaking, but we definitely would like to hear you out today. Okay, probably I might not be there because today we are there in office. I'll just show out. Uh, we are working over here, and it is okay. Unfortunately, that screen is there, so probably I could not show you guys. But by a heartfelt out that I should be speaking out few words on today's occasion because seeing Hari, I couldn't wait myself. So I thought I'll just interrupt and take few minutes of
Definitely, yeah.
yours. Okay. So
Sure,
Hari,
sure,
we
sure.
want you how you have done your this PhD at the end. Okay. Hey, Sanika, please take care of it. Okay. And
Yes, sir.
we hear Hari out on today's occasion. Okay.
Yes,
Probably I
sir.
might not have there. Best wishes to all of you, and we would like to see you in over here again. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Vikasa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hari, do you want to say hi?
Hello everyone. But I think Hetal, you can proceed. We can. You are
Okay.
the speaker.
Okay.
Sorry that I
All right.
interrupted you. Thank you.
No worries. All right, so let me tell you a bit more about myself. I graduated from Mullen College of Commerce in 2014, and I joined Pradnya and Associates first as my articleship in 2012, but then I got transferred to CVK and Associates Mullen, and I was there until 2015 when I cleared my CA final. After that, I moved on to work with PwC as an audit associate for about a year, after which I came here and started doing my master's in accounting from Michigan State University. So I graduated in May 2018, and in July 2018, I started working with Cummins as a financial analyst. And meanwhile, when I was pursuing my master's in accounting, I also finished my CMA. I'll talk about that in detail later. And a fun fact that I was the treasurer of Vicasa in 2013-14. And coincidentally, this year's treasurer's name also is Hetal. So it's a very good coincidence. All right. So, just a second, I can't see. Okay. So I want to cover a few basic things that you should think of before moving to any country or US or any other country, okay? So first, you need to find a purpose. Why are you okay? Another thing is that I'll be conversing in both Hindi and English. So if you don't understand anything, please let me know. First, you need to find your purpose. Why is it that you want to relocate? Why is it that you want to just move to another country to start your life, right? So that there can be and multiple reasons to that. One is that you want to do something more with your career. You're not happy with where you are right now, and you want to advance your career, right? That is a valid reason. Okay. Number two is personal reason, like me. I was supposed to get married to Hari, and that is why I had to move with him. And so let's say you want to get married to someone, or you have most of your family here in the US. So that is a valid reason. But you want to leave India, that is not a valid reason, because what I've seen many people doing is that they get so desperate to leave India that they end up finding a not so good university, and then not getting H-1B, having visa complications, and then just ruining his or her 2 years of life and going back to India. So that is not how it works. Just because you want to leave India, you get so desperate, it is not a valid reason. Okay. Then once you decide that yes, you have a valid reason to move out of India, you have to do a very good research about a few things. So these are some of the things that you need to do you need to have a very thorough understanding of. One is courses. You decide what kind of course is suitable for you and it is good for your career. Number two is universities. So once you have decided the course, you decide what universities provide that course. What are some of the reputed universities in the US in that course that you want to pursue? The cost, which is, I think, the most important thing, because it costs minimum 40 to 50 lakhs is what you're looking at, except your living cost. So 40 to 50 lakhs is just your tuition cost, your education cost. Then you understand the demographics of the place, right? Ki भाई यहाँ पे weather कैसा होगा? Like here, when we came here to Michigan, I did not. So all these things I did not do. So that is why I have this on this list. I didn't do any of these, and I learned it the hard way. So you understand what is the kind of weather. यहाँ पे कितनी बारिश होती है, कितना snow होता है, or what are the kind of people surrounding kaisa hai, crime rate kaisa hai, and all of that. Okay. Then you need to plan. Ki, this is the cost of my tuition, of my education. How am I gonna arrange it? Right? It is a very big factor. Visa, appointment कब लेना है, appointment dates कब मिलेगा, interview के लिए prepare करो and all that. Accommodation, where are you gonna live? And there is tons of college admin work that you need to do before you come here. So take care of all of that. So this is the procedure that you need to follow before you come to the US, right? Now this is the list of some of the common things that you need to know before you come to the US. So the system is a little help you understand what's written and help you just flow through the process, right? So first is, can you hear me okay? Okay. First is the application packet. So whenever you are applying to a university, you apply to the university, there's a list of things that you need to submit to them, which includes but not limited to your application. So it will ask you about your education and all that. You'll need your transcripts. So transcripts चाहिए तो college को बोलना पड़ेगा. So that is a very long process. And then you need your letters of recommendation. So 2 or 3 letters of recommendation. Then you need a statement of purpose. There are a lot of different things that are included in the application packet. Okay. Then comes the exams that you need to appear for: GMAT, GRE, TOEFL. So whenever you're applying to a university, they will clearly mention that for this particular course, you will need GMAT or GRE or both. Some universities accept GRE, some universities don't. Most universities accept GMAT. TOEFL also is, I think, all the universities need TOEFL. So you need to start thinking about, okay, when am I going to appear for these exams? You need to study for these exams. At least I would say roughly 3 to 6 months is the time that you will need to prepare for these exams. Then there is semester system here: spring, summer, fall. So usually people come here in fall, which starts in the last week of July or beginning of August. In the first 15 days of August is when the fall semester starts. So that is when most international students come to the US. Spring starts, and after fall, you have a winter break in the last 10-15 days of December. Some universities have, some universities don't. Spring starts in January, so that is a new semester. And so there are 3 semesters. And after spring ends around May when people graduate. So most people who have come in fall, they graduate in May, which is spring. So I graduated in the spring of 2018, so May 2018. And summer is July, May, June, July are the 3 months of summer. Okay, so this is a semester system that is followed here. Credit system. Credits is something that you need to earn when you are taking any classes. For example, if I'm taking a class as in attending a class, you earn credits. So if I take a class that has 3 credits, so I have 3 credits in my account. So, and your fees is based on credits. So 1 credit will cost like $1,500. So if a class is, say, 3 credits, then it will be around $4,500 per 1 class. And every course has certain credit requirements, right? So let's say Masters in Accounting, my course had 30 credits. So I had to take 10 classes to graduate, right? So every class was 3 credits and I had to take 10 classes. So I earned 30 credits and I graduated. You can't graduate without having those specific number of credits, right? And the cost is usually on credit basis, sorry, per credit. Then comes internships. So usually what people do is they come here in fall, they study for fall and spring, and during summers they go for internships. Any kind of course here. So internship. So during your spring, which is Jan, you will work on finding internships. Internship is a good way to earn some money for your course. In some courses, internship is required, and in some courses it is not required but recommended. Then you also need to understand what is STEM and non-STEM. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So STEM course, some courses are STEM, some courses are non-STEM. The main difference is that for non-STEM courses, you get to stay in the US after your course for 1 year. So that is called OPT, optional practical training, I think. So non-STEM course may you get to stay for 1 year and then your H1 is filed, which is a lottery system. So if your H1 is picked in the lottery, then you get to stay for another 3 years and then the H1 is renewed. So pehle ek saal you are on OPT, then 1 year then 3 years you are on H1 if you get picked for H1. Otherwise, you अगर तुम्हारा H1 लॉटरी में नहीं लगा, then you have to go back to India. Versus STEM course, where you get to stay in the US for 3 years. So for non-STEM is 1 year and STEM is 3 years. Okay, that's the difference. And depending on your course, depending on the universities, your course could be STEM or non-STEM. For example, my course was non-STEM. I had only 1 year of OPT, but in some other universities, my exact same course is STEM because they have more math and more technical stuff that they do, right? Grading and assessment. Grading and assessment is very different here. It is your marks or your grades are not entirely dependent on your final exam, but it looks at your performance throughout the semester. So after every course, you get a grade, but it is not based only on one exam. So they will look at your class participation. They look at your assignments. Assignments are super practical here. You have to do a lot of research. It's not like just exam ke liye pad liya, exam diya. It's not it. That is not how it works. Then comes your courses. So depending on the type of course that you choose, Masters in Accounting, Masters in Finance, MBA, Business Analytics, anything, some of the courses are mandatory. So when you are selected in a university, you can ask, you will get a list of courses that are mandatory. कि ये courses तुमको करने ही है. Electives, you can choose whether you want to do those courses, you want to attend those classes, or you don't want to. Or prerequisites is something that you have. So for example, मुझे एक investment का class लेना है, then उसका pre-requirement रहेगा that you have to have done this particular class. कि ये class नहीं किया रहेगा तो तुम उस class में नहीं बैठ सकते. So those are prerequisites, right? So 3 types of courses: mandatory, electives, and prerequisites. So these are just some of the terms that you should keep in mind. Scholarships. So because the cost is so much, I think all universities provide scholarship opportunities. It will be mentioned in their websites that these are the scholarships. You can apply for those scholarships, and based on your performance, based on your application, how strong your application is, and based on your GMAT score and all that, you can be selected for scholarships. अगर तुमको scholarship नहीं मिला, then you can also try for TA and RA. TA is teaching assistant and RA is research assistant. So what teaching assistant is that you assist a teacher, a professor in a course कि उसके साथ course वो class attend करके you help them assess the exams, grading, students का grading करो, या फिर notes बनाओ या PPT बनाओ, anything जो भी professor बोलेगा you'll have to do. So basically professor का assistant. Research assistant, professors who are working on a research, you assist them collect the data or gather, just format the data, unko whatever they ask you to do. And these are all, and you'll be paid on per hour basis. Ek ghante ka you get $10, $12. I think minimum is $9. Depends on the university again. So those are the things you can look at if you don't get a scholarship, right? Then work on campus. So most of the master students, I'm not talking about MBAs because they don't really get time to work on campus, but I did work on campus to cover your accommodation or your groceries or, any other cost. Most people work on campus. So you can get jobs like you work in a cafeteria or you work in a library. I used to work as a security in police department here. And I also used to teach athletes. So people playing football, American football, I used to teach them managerial accounting, and I used to get paid like $10 or $11 per hour. So those are the kind of work that you can get on campus. And there are hundreds of them. There are hundreds of them. So I don't think you'll have any hassle in finding work on campus. Okay, so these are some of the courses that, okay, Shivam, do you mind putting the poll? Just fill this poll so I'll get a better idea of what the audience looks like. I think after 20-25 seconds, you can publish the results.
The poll has ended, ma'am. Shall I share the results now?
Yes, yes. Okay, so most of you are CA students, all right. 80-20. Okay, so these courses will depend, I mean, the types of these courses. Some of these are for CA students, some of these are for CA professionals like MBA and PhD. Because you require work experience, it is more relevant for CA professionals. And accounting, finance, business analytics, masters in these three fields, I think is more relevant for CA students and not CA professionals. I'll tell you why. I mean, you can still pursue these like I did. I was a chartered accountant when I did my master's in accounting. So you can still pursue these, but I'll tell you more in detail later. So these are the 5 different branches that, according to me, are relevant for chartered accountant students or professionals. So you can go either into accounting, finance, business analytics, which is like an in thing right now, it is booming, MBA and PhD. So let's focus more on, what is this? Okay, let's focus more on accounting. So when you if you decide that you want to pursue core accounting, then masters in accounting is a course that you need to look at. And there are different branches into that. So there is audit, there is managerial, tax, and information systems. So audit, people usually do CPA along with masters in accounting so that they get into Big Fours. If you're in audit and you want to work for a Big Four, then you need a CPA. So most people do that. Managerial, I didn't want to go into a Big Four. I was more interested in managerial. So I took more managerial classes. The electives that I talked about, I took more classes focused on management accounting. So that is managerial. So you can work in industry, tax, and information system. Information systems will have more of your MS Access and all those stuff, relationship database, and more technical stuff, which I'm not interested in. STEM and non-STEM. So it could be STEM, it could be non-STEM. Like I was looking at Wharton Business School yesterday, it was a STEM course. This course was a STEM course, but when I did it in 2018 in my university, Michigan State, it was a non-STEM. So it depends. You just need to check their website. Cost, this is only tuition cost. The रहने का, खाने का, पीने का is different. $45,000 to $65,000 is what you're looking at for this course for your 2 years. It can be 1 year or it could be 2 years. So it depends on the number of courses you are taking. जैसे I took 3 courses per semester, and in summer I did not do an internship. My colleagues, they all did an internship, so वो लोग summer में classes नहीं ले सके, but I took a summer course. तो मेरा graduation थोड़ा prepone हो गया. I graduated early. I finished my course in 1.5 years, but most people did it in 2 years. So it depends how many courses you take per semester. Usually 30 credits required. So as I said, अगर 3 credits का course है, usually 2.5 या 3 credits का एक course होता है सारी universities में. हम लोग के यहाँ पे 3 credits था. So I had to take 10 different classes to earn 30 credits. Okay. Job opportunities, you can either work in the industry like me, or you can work in a Big Four if you have taken audit track. Please raise your hand, stop me anytime you have any questions, okay? Then comes your finance. If you want to go into core finance, then you opt for MS in finance, masters in finance. And the 4 sub bullets are some of the topics that are covered in the masters in finance course. investments and risk management, business modeling and analysis, corporate finance, and they have a lot of programming as well because financial modeling karna hota hai, you need to know Python and R, all those programming languages. And usually it is these days it is STEM because they have included all these programming languages. But वो कभी कभी non-STEM भी हो सकता है. This course is a bit expensive. I don't know why. 50 to $80,000 for the entire course. Again, 1 to 2 years accounting, and 30 to 36 credits required roughly for in the 2 years. And again, job opportunities will be entry level. So you will be working corporate finance, you will be working at financial in the financial services sector, or you'll be working in risk management. So all these masters in accounting and finance are more relevant for CA students and not for CA professionals because they've already done their CA. So from a personal experience, if I have to tell you, masters in accounting did not add a lot of value content wise, because जो भी मैंने मास्टर्स इन अकाउंटिंग में पढ़ा वो सीए सिलेबस में ऑलरेडी कवर हो चुका था. But what I gained was the kinds of assignments that you get to do. तुम्हारे colleagues, it's fun. I mean, you do a lot of research, you do a lot of analysis, practical exposure बहुत होता है. So that is what I learned, but content wise, it didn't add a lot of value because CA tha. So that is why I said these courses are more for CA students. Like for some reason, if you decide to discontinue your CA, or for whatever reasons after BCom, you can opt for these courses. I mean, you can still do these courses as a professional, but it won't add a lot of value to you content wise. Like you will know most of the things. Then comes business analytics. This is a trending stuff. This is a trending course in the US right now because there's a lot of demand, because the big data analysis, big data management is something that everyone is looking, all the companies are looking at right now. So masters in business analytics includes data management and analytics, and it will have a lot of exposure to your programming languages. So उसमें सब कुछ techie stuff होगा. And it is usually STEM because it has all these programming languages. And it is usually a 1-year course. Okay, ये एक साल में खत्म हो जाता है, and $50,000 to $70,000 is what you're looking at. And in this course, usually people come after working for a certain number of years. So 2-3 साल के बाद, if they want to if they want a change in their career, people usually come for this course. एक साल में हो जाता है. 30 to 40 credits एक साल में, so you have a lot of work to do. Job opportunities, industries requiring data analytics. So I think most of the companies are switching to data analysis. They are relying big time on data and analysis of that data. So I think this is a very relevant course right now. Just a second. Okay, Akhil, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Since you spoke about accounting and finance, can you also throw some light on CPA USA as to what are its advantages and disadvantages?
Yeah, I have it in the slides. I'll cover that.
I'm sorry.
No worries. All right, so that was business analytics. And then you have your most favorite course, MBA. MBA has different specializations. I think someone is being noisy. Can you put your speakers on mute, please, or mic on mute? Thank you. So MBA has different specializations: finance, HR, marketing, supply chain. So the most relevant for chartered accountants is finance. It could be STEM or non-STEM. Again, you have to check the university's website. It is very expensive, 45 to 80,000 a year. So it is a 2 years course, so you can just double it. And work experience is required. So on average, I think 5 to 8 years of experience is what they need. Usually less, but I think 3 or 4 years is also fine. 60 to 70 credits overall for the 2 years. So MBA के classes में the credits vary. Some classes will be 1.5 credits, some classes will be 2, some classes will be 3, some classes will be 4. So overall, you have to collect 60 to 70 credits. Depends on the university, but this is a normal range. And job opportunities can vary. So these are not entry level. MBA करने के बाद you won't get an entry level, unlike masters in accounting or masters in finance. But business analytics and MBA में you can get a higher level job like financial services. You can get into consulting, you can get into corporate finance management. So you know basically कि MBA करने के बाद कौन से types of roles मिलते हैं, right? All right. So that was MBA. Then you have PhD. PhD, बहुत सारे types of PhDs होते हैं, but what is relevant for accountants is PhD in accounting. Usme there are different branches, like there is financial, there is managerial, tax, audit. Sorry. Financial accounting includes research on your, let's say, related to financial statements, SEC, how they work, वो सब होता है. Managerial में related to your performance measurement and how managers make decisions, your costing, वो सब analysis होता है, वो सब research होता है. Tax, audit. So those are the 4 main branches of 4 different tracks that you can pursue. You can pursue only one in PhD. It is a non-STEM course, definitely. And PhD, you don't have to pay, but you get paid a stipend, which is about 30 to 45,000 a year. So that is, I think, depending on where you live, it is enough to cover your accommodation, your groceries, your travel, everything. So I think it's enough. Depending on where you live, अगर तुम शिकागो या न्यूयॉर्क में रहते हो, तो I don't think this is enough. But in a place like Michigan, where we currently live, this is more than enough. Usually takes 4 to 5 years. Some universities require कि तुम 4 साल में खत्म कर दो. Some universities 5 साल लगता है. I think it doesn't go beyond 5 years. And then as a PhD student, you have to be a teaching assistant. तुमको compulsorily assist करना पड़ता है. In some semesters you'll be a TA, some semesters you will be an RA. So whoever needs some help with their research, they can just ask, "Arey, मुझे help कर दे research में," and you have to be on that assignment. Hari, do you want to add anything to this?
No. Is there anything specific you want me to add? Then I can add.
No. Unless people have questions. Okay. So, Akhil, I think here is where your question will be answered. Other courses, there are other courses and certifications as well. So you asked about CPA, right? So I wouldn't recommend doing only CPA because when you're looking for jobs in the US, they require a US university degree. So CPA is a certification offered by AICPA. So unless you have a US university degree, it becomes very difficult to get a job in the US. And that is the reason I did my master's in accounting, because सिर्फ CPA के basis पे मुझे job नहीं मिलने वाला था. So it is highly relevant and it is a very good course. But सिर्फ उसके basis पे working in the US is not possible. Does that answer your question, or you have any more questions?
No, ma'am, that totally answers my question. Thank you so much.
No problem. So other courses like executive MBA, जो CEO and CFO level के लोग लेते करते हैं या उनके नीचे जो हायर मैनेजमेंट लेवल पे है. So after 10 to 15 years of experience, if you want to advance in your career, थोड़ा आगे track change करना है, then people end up doing an executive MBA जो IIMs में सारे IIMs भी offer करते हैं. I think most people didn't know that. um, MS in economics, MS in statistics, these are also some of the courses that might be relevant for you, but I don't think how many charters will be interested. But these are the courses out there. CMA, it's like uh, कौन सा कोर्स था इंडिया में CMA relevant?
ICWA, it was called. Now it is called
CWA. Yeah, it is more like CWA. So it is more focused because as I said, मुझे managerial accounting में ज़्यादा interest था. So I opted for CMA and not CPA because I didn't want to go into Big Fours. So CMA, if you have done your CA, I think CMA is not very difficult to clear. I took 2.5 months to study for both the parts. It has 2 parts. CFA, you all know, and CPA, again, it has 4 different exams. It's like CA. I mean, not. It has multiple choice questions and case studies and all of that, and 4 different exams. All right. So just to add some fun to my slides, I added, so that's me cleaning my car in the snow last year on the left, and on the right is the snow last year outside my building. Life in the US generally, there are pros and cons, of course.
Ma'am, we cannot see this photograph.
You cannot see the photograph?
No.
Yeah, we can see it.
I think it is the connection probably that is causing.
Shivam, I think
Okay.
you might have some connectivity.
Just a second.
Can you? Is everyone able to see?
So sorry for interrupting you, ma'am. So sorry for that.
No worries, no worries. Are you able to see now?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So on the left is me cleaning my car during winters, and on the right is a snow cake. Probably I don't know what that is, but itna sara snow tha, and every year it is like that. This is from last year. So generally talking about the life in the US, there are pros and cons. I've listed the pros first because cons ka list बहुत ज़्यादा था. Better pros में you have a better lifestyle. Of course, there's less pollution, there is less traffic, there are less number of people. So in general, the lifestyle is better. Career advancement, you get a lot of opportunities, a less competitive world, I would say. So career advancement के लिए बहुत scope है. Cultural exchange, you meet people from all over the world. You meet people from Taiwan, China, Pakistan, Canada, Mexico. You meet people from all over the world. Okay. Relationship building, because you don't have your family around, your friends become your family. Those relationships are for life, I think, because तुम इतने सारे friends बनाते हो, इतने सारे professors, इतने सारे नए लोगों को मिलते हो, तो it is like a very, very good thing that happened to me in the US. Broaden perspective. Your perspective changes because you are exposed to a totally new culture. So you are, forced to think differently. You are forced to see things differently. So your perspective is broadened. Chat. We can receive presentation because I was not able to join earlier. Okay, sure, Ria. I will send my presentation. And you become independent. So because you have to do everything on your own, सब कुछ खुद करना पड़ता है यहाँ पे, right from झाड़ू पोछा बर्तन groceries, all your admin stuff. There is nobody to help you out. You have to do everything on your own, which makes you independent, which is a good thing and which is also a bad thing because cons में first point is that you are self-dependent. You don't have anybody around you to help you. I mean, there are friends, there are people who will help you to a limit, but वो भी कितना help करेंगे. So you are totally on your own. You have to, if you don't know cooking, you have to do that. You have to clean your house. You have to do groceries. You have to take care of everything. कार है तो वो एक added burden है because कार का टायर पंचर हो गया उसको रिपेयर करो वो भी कोई काम नहीं वाला करने को. So there are so many things that इंडिया में बहुत इजीली हो जाता था बट यहाँ पे खुद करना पड़ता है. एंड वो हम लोग को दिमाग में भी नहीं आता इंडिया में कि अरे इतनी हेल्प मिल रही है हमको बाहर से. यहाँ पे आके सब रियलाइज होता है. देन यू हैव फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रेस बिकॉज तुम्हारा यूजुअली लोन होता है तो वो लोन रीपे करना है. कैसे if you live in New York, Chicago, तो that is also in a big city, San Francisco, तो that is a financial stress कि rent कैसे पे करेंगे, ये bill कैसे पे करेंगे, वो bill कैसे पे करेंगे, insurance. So there is a lot of financial stress. Cultural and weather changes. Cultural, of course, you have to get accustomed to the American culture, know their culture, because अगर तुम उनके culture को adopt nahi karoge, so it will be very hard to mingle with people here. Weather changes you can see from my photographs. Loneliness and stress, because you are alone, you feel lonely. So I know a lot of people, lot of my friends who have taken medical help to get out of depression. I was one of them. I went into depression in 2018 because I was living alone back then for my work. So there is a lot of stress and loneliness that you go through because you're away from your family for the first time. Friends नहीं, इतने सालों के जो friends होते हैं कोई नहीं है अभी. Missing family, friends, food, and festivals. I always tell everyone these are the 4 Fs that you miss when you're in the US. Diwali was terrible. My first Diwali here, away from my family, it was terrible. No job security. जैसे अभी depression था, economic depression. A lot of people were really scared because job चला जाएगा तो वापस इंडिया जाना पड़ेगा. तो फिर यहाँ पे जो भी हमने 4-5 साल स्पेंड किए हैं वो सब वेस्ट. So there is no job security at all. तुमको कभी भी निकाला जा सकता है based on your performance. So that tension is always there. Visa complications, H1 pick नहीं हुआ तो वापस इंडिया जाओ. RFA आ गया. RFA is a request for evidence कि तुमने एप्लीकेशन कर दिया H1 के लिए बट दे नीड मोर एविडेंस तो उसके लिए और डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट करो. सो दैट स्ट्रेस इज ऑलवेज देयर अबाउट योर वीजा. अरे ग्रीन कार्ड के लिए अप्लाई करना, ये प्रोसेस वो प्रोसेस, इतना वेट उतना वेट, इसका अप्रूवल नहीं आया उसका अप्रूवल नहीं आया. दैट स्ट्रेस इज जस्ट क्रेजी. सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द cons that I have personally faced in the US. There could be more, there could be less. Some people don't feel lonely. Some people don't have the cultural shock, but these are some of the things that I have faced. Pros also, some of the things I've personally experienced. Some people may not find any cultural exchange, or some people may not be independent or whatever. So in conclusion, what I really want to put it out there is that no matter where you are, तुम इंडिया में हो, तुम यूएस में हो, कनाडा में हो, न्यूजीलैंड में, it doesn't matter. What matters is तुम कैसे काम करते हो and तुम क्या काम करते हो. So you will not be recognized by where you studied or where you worked, कौन से MNC में काम किया. You will be recognized by how you impacted other people in your lives. So take the example of Ranjit Singh Desai, जिसको अभी Global Teacher Prize Award mila. He won $1 million, which is a lot of money. And he comes from a very small district, very small village in Solapur, near Solapur. So it doesn't matter where you are. तो तुम अगर अच्छे काम करोगे, you will be recognized no matter where you are. And that was all. If you want to reach out to me, I think Instagram is the best way. Email, you can email me on my email ID, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And with that, I open up for questions. And if you have any feedback, please tell me.
Ma'am, do you recommend a CA
Stop sharing.
finalist? Do you recommend a CA finalist to pursue US CMA? Because as far as I know, US CMA takes 6 months to complete. So, do you advise that?
So CMA is also recognized in India now, and you can definitely study for CMA because it is definitely recognized by some of the companies in India as well. So I would recommend that. I would recommend pursuing CMA.
Ma'am, I have one question. I have heard that Canada offers much more stability than the US. So, if I ask you that I would like to come to US to study and then maybe immigrate to Canada so that US will give me the brand name of a good university and Canada would provide me the required stability because, as you said, that there are visa complications and all those things. So how do you view it as a career plan or a strategy? Because if that's a mistake, I won't do it. And if that's a good plan, then I would go by it.
Hari, do you want to take this question?
Yeah, so that's a that's a good idea. I mean,
Good
there are a
strategy.
lot of opportunities in Canada, and if you do a degree from US, there is a higher chance that you will get permanent residency in Canada. In fact, a lot of people directly go to Canada from India itself uh, by applying for permanent residency there. And there are many good universities in Canada also. But the only disadvantage or the only limitation that I see in Canada personally is the weather. So there are a few places where you can live. One is Toronto, one is Vancouver, and some areas of Alberta. But apart from that, it's extremely cold. In fact, Toronto is also cold, but these are some of the places where generally Indians tend to flock. So that is the other thing that you may want to consider is the weather, which is kind of little extreme. But are there good universities in Canada? Definitely, University of Toronto, which is a Rotman School of Management, is fantastic school. Then there is Ivy School. Then there is Kingston. Sorry, there is a Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, University of Alberta, University of Waterloo, University of British Columbia. So there are many good universities in Canada as well. So it's not that you need to go through the US route and then migrate to Canada. You can directly migrate to Canada, directly do any course in Canada as well.
Okay. I will definitely consider that point, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. I hope this session was informative. And in future also, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help.
Thank you so much, Hetal. Hetal, I would like to thank you on behalf of the entire Thane WICASA team for coming here, for managing the time differences and reaching out to us and helping us. I personally think you went into the nitty gritties of it, the STEM courses, the credits which are offered. I think that is a bit of difficult to find it on Google, or someone who has been through it can only guide us. So that was the best thing. And my personal big takeaway from this talk was your last line, which you said, it doesn't matter where you are. What matters is what you do.
Hello.
So it was wonderful. I would also like to thank Hari Subramaniam for joining us and answering questions. It was a great talk. Anyone else? Do you have any doubts? I think the session itself was very exhaustive and all the doubts were covered in there itself. So let's end this session here today. Thank you so much for taking out time.
Thank
I will
you.
appreciate your efforts put into the nitty-gritties of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.